Hey guys, what's up? Pager here once again with another trailer breakdown for The Flash Season 2. Now this is for episode 13 entitled Welcome to Earth-2. Now before we get into anything, let's actually watch the trailer.
You're going to see things that look and feel familiar, but they're not. Do not let yourself get sucked in emotionally.
If we're not back in 48 hours, you need to close the breach.
Welcome to Earth-2.
Hey, handsome.
Close the breach.
So, which one of you is in the wrong universe?
Close the breach.
Which one of you is in the wrong...
Mary is protecting your world, and our world needs a Flash now.
Close the breach.
They could be stuck there forever.
So going by this trailer, this episode looks pretty damn exciting. Now it's important to remember that some of these scenes will be on Earth-1 and some of them will be on Earth-2. So let's actually break this trailer down properly. Now here we get to see the crew walking towards the breach that's actually under Star Labs. Now the crew going to Earth-2 includes Barry, Cisco and Harry, or Harrison Wells of Earth-2. Now their actual objective when they get over there is actually to find Harry's daughter Jessie. Now we see Jay here who will be actually staying behind, and the reason for that, like he could actually be there like their guide, but then they have Harrison Wells anyway, but if they needed some backup. But it's probably dangerous for him to actually go back there without any of his powers. He'd be very vulnerable to any villains that are on Earth-2 that he's obviously had encounters with before. We get to see the crew getting ready to go into the breach right here. We get to see Barry and Caitlin saying goodbye to each other, which is actually a good image in contrast to what we will see on the other side of the breach. Now we get to see Jay giving Barry some last minute advice, but also like almost like a warning about Earth-2. Now the crew staying on Earth-1 will actually still play a decent part in this episode, as you will see in the actual episode. So here we get welcomed to Earth-2. It looks pretty interesting, but one important thing to note is the vehicles on the road are actually from like the 1950s, early 60s. Now a lot of the aesthetics of Earth-2 will most likely be based from those decades, you would think. We see Harry here taking in the beauty of his Earth. He probably thinks that Earth-1 is a dump compared to Earth-2. We also get the customary Earth-2 selfie, also in front of the Earth-2 Star Labs sign. And boom, hello, Killer Frost, who looks really damn hot, I'm not going to lie. This is obviously otherwise known as Earth-2 Caitlin Snow. Now she actually might have a different name on Earth-2, sort of like how Jay Garrick's Earth-1 version, is Hunter Zolomon. So Earth-2 Caitlin may be called Crystal Frost, or maybe even like Louise Lincoln, which are both previous owners of the title of Killer Frost before Caitlin Snow came along. Now we see Barry here, but is this Earth-2 or Earth-1 Barry? Now he's giving like this quizzical, almost stunned look, and this is because this is actually Earth-2 Barry Allen looking at Earth-1 Barry Allen. Now we get to see Killer Frost here using one of her abilities, and also alongside her is Deathstorm. So we see Cisco here with a handgun, but I'm thinking that it actually might be like an Earth-2 metahuman weapon, because really, like, you're against Firestorm and Killer Frost. Do you really think you would just bring a random handgun? I think this might be some form of metahuman weapon, but because they're in Earth-2, everything's like sort of like retro, like in the 1950s, 1960s, so maybe that's what a metahuman weapon on Earth-2 looks like. So we see a Killer Frost here with the casual lollipop in the same room that we saw her in earlier. So I don't know if this is going to be like a casual thing that we're going to be seeing throughout the episode, or maybe this is just one long scene. We get this trip out scene with Barry. I'm not too sure if it's Earth-1 Barry or Earth-2. It might be Earth-2, I'm not too sure. But I'm not too sure what's going on here, to be completely honest. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the episode. Now we see Barry again. I'm gonna say it's Earth-2. Actually, I don't know. We'll have to go wait and see. But we see Barry here, and with what looks to be Killer Frost talking to him. We see like the frosted hair, as you can see here. And we see Earth-1 Barry looking confused, shocked, and a lot of other emotions. And this is actually him meeting his Earth-2 self. You see Killer Frost early in the trailer will say this.
So, which one of you is in the wrong universe?
So obviously she's talking to both Barry Allens, because they're both there and they're both like tripping out going, what the fuck? We got another example of Killer Frost's abilities. She seems to be throwing like icicles or ice daggers, whatever you want to call them. And as we see Barry ducking behind a table, once again it's really confusing whether it's Earth-1 Barry or Earth-2, as you'll see later in this video. Now this is one of the more interesting clips as we see Barry take the helmet off the statue of Jay Garrick, but which Barry is it? Now my theory is that Earth-1 Barry may use it just in case anyone in public sees him and will just think it's actually just Jay Garrick's Flash running around and not someone new. But then we see him running here, like actually like the Flash, with no helmet, but he may have been running towards the helmet, but who knows. This makes me think that, okay, it's really confusing to tell Earth-2 Barry is actually Earth-2 Barry, because I think Barry might protect his Earth-2 version of himself and just change clothes, so he's protected. So I think that's what might happen in this episode. We get our first look at Deathstorm here with his flames on, and it will be really interesting to hear his backstory, if there is one, and if Martin Stein is alive, or like is a part of him, or he's dead. Maybe Deathstorm killed him. Now we see this road cracking. Now this is actually being done by Geomancer, who will be causing chaos on Earth 1 while the others are actually on Earth 2. Now Joe tells Jay that he has to step up and actually do something about Geomancer while Barry is actually gone. But without his speed, how is he going to help? Knock knock, Velocity 9. Now this seems to be inside the Central City Police Department. We can see Joe there and what looks like to be like the silhouette of Wally, and this building is like shaking. It's probably due to Geomancer on the street. Now this image here is interesting, as it seems as if Cisco is watching someone die. Now spoiler alert, I'll give it a couple of seconds, dun dun dun, but Robbie and Mel let it slip at a recent interview that Deathstorm actually kills someone of notability in the show on Earth 2. So who will it be? Who will die on Earth 2? And this is what Cisco is probably looking at. So we see Central City Police Department cars like avoiding the splitting road as they try to take down Geomancer. And finally we see Caitlin talking to Jay, worrying about the others and how they could actually be stuck in Earth 2 forever potentially. So thanks for watching, guys. If I left out anything major from that trailer, make sure to leave in the description, the comments, sorry. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video if you want to. This is like the first proper breakdown I've actually done. I've changed my style and I'll probably do this every week. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and share it. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. Make sure you join the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.